horror game should be scary, right? How about the second playthrough? That's right, I'm trying a new formula where I revisit games I have played, old and new, and see how well it ages. Signalis is one of those indie games that really blew me away. Usually with indie games, which I know did not have many budgets, although fun, I would not have it stuck within me or sing its praises more than telling a few friends over a few bottles that they should try it out. I've been preaching about Signalis after I beat the game and once again right after, singing its praise like it's the second coming of Christ. And I honestly believe this game should be lauded as much as how good it is, even after playing it again from the ground up for the third time. As you know, Signalis is a horror game. It is supposed to be spooky and the first experience embodies that perfectly. But there are several tricks that one who has played it might discover that can reduce the burden significantly. For this playthrough, I'm playing on Classic Inventory with the hardest difficulty offered. I have this expectation that I will just blaze through the game. A fair bit of warning, it did not end well. Wake the fuck up. As we plunge ourselves once more into the sci-fi world, our iron coffin raises us from the dead. Seemingly nothing has told us to do anything. Okay, I find this to be troublesome. As someone who has played, you're supposed to know what's coming. I have a bad memory. I spent 10 minutes just going around trying to figure out what the hell am I supposed to be looking for. Good thing is, it is not yet time to throw hands. First time I played this, the prologue really threw me the wrong way because I thought the whole game would have this sci-fi alien isolation feeling. But after that prologue, the vibe turns more into a sci-fi slave mining facility. But who am I to say? Oh, free book! I sure hope touching it will not set the gears for catastrophe in motion. Oh hell nah, the book sent me into school toilet. My first problem in replaying is the expectations that I set for myself and my bad memory. I interacted with everything but cared for nothing. I went everywhere just expecting I somehow stumbled upon the next puzzle piece instead of playing. I made my way to the hallway where I found a sleeping Yule unit. After blinding myself with blood, I met up with a star unit bleeding out on the floor. I asked her for directions. She is not much of a help, so I leave her to bleed alone. The keycard I found turns out to be pretty important as it finally unlocks a gun, which I immediately dropped. This is the second problem and I'll tell you why later. The sleeping Yule unit got a little grumpy after waking up and went after me. Sadly, they'll never see this coming. This is how you identify survival horror fans. That's the move I'm trying to accomplish throughout my playthrough here. Considering it's survival horror, I was planning to just save as many resources as I can by not using any. After meeting with the yandere girl who tries to justify the dead body she's standing on top of, I finally face the true boss of this run. Puzzles. See, rerunning a game is fun. You get to relive some of the game's best experiences. But the run won't be the same as your first because you would know what to do or how to do them. I have a memory of a goldfish. This is like a kid frustratingly brute forcing out of a puzzle. I click everything, I read nothing, until I eventually stumbled upon the key. Another stupid thing that I did was forgetting to press the enter button, which made me have to go back and forth, just making sure that I was not in fact crazy, and I did remember the numbers correctly. And from that alone, you can already guess how rough the second floor is. I immediately provoked the dead units in front of me. After I set my piece and went to the safe room, I dropped off my gun for good. In fact, I dropped off everything. Gotta make room for more items in my survival horror real estate. That is until I found the weapon that I plan to main for this playthrough, the melees. The melee in this game is nuts, either the baton or the flares. Both immediately open up or straight up kill an enemy. You do gotta get pretty close, but I was brimming with confidence. My plan was to pull up to them and go, "Fight back!" Oh, what you be cooking? What's for dinner? Wait, I think I need more fiber. I'll skip dinner actually, thank you. Two enemies were standing in my way and I stored the gun away. Oh, but no worries. I have the baton. I walked right into them. Excuse me. I was still in that survival horror mindset where I tried to save resources but forgot that the real resources were the friends we made along. Were my help. My help. I'm bleeding. Please help. Surely I learned my lesson. Oh, I kissed the enemy. Oh, but I did use the button. I'll call that a win in my book. With the nature of my memory, I will and did just go around and back, not progressing and being confused. With that kind of gameplay, it is best to employ the strategy of killing all enemies, or at least the ones standing in my way, despite the limited resources. People like me will go back and forth being a dumb bitch and figuring out after 5 times repeating the same route. I trapped myself with no guns and away from the safe room. I died. This is the first death, and when it happened, I felt so annoyed. I thought I could just blaze through the game, goes with the melees. With a defeated feeling in my chest, I went back again for another round of not bringing any weapons. But this time I thought I have a better weapon, knowledge.
I'm going to die.
I tried the other area I hadn't been to, and after a thought-provoking moment of realization that they could run, they gifted me with my favorite weapon, another stun baton. Oh, don't worry about the completely functional and stable unit in this world full of zombies. After a long-winded path of trying to figure out the next progression, the keys to the secret box bring me way to another first-person view. This part doesn't differ much for me. Get in the room, take the radio, glaze through the guide. I guess after dying and eating another hit immediately, I finally became a little bit more paranoid, which is a good thing with survival horror. I raised my frequency of blinding myself red and finally took out the pistol. A round of applause everyone, you never expected I to live out of my ego, didn't you? Thankfully, I remember how to unlock the 3 safe, got the ID card that I could use on the elevator, met with Isa again while acting surprised, and continued my journey. They swallowed my keycard. Great system guys, sci-fi, woo! Enough feeling sorry about myself because this next one is actually huge. I finally meet the shotgun. You know very well I'm going to take it and no! Well, I guess I still have the pistol. I haven't mentioned this again, but with me already used to the game's main mechanic, it felt second nature to just swerve out of the enemy's attacks. This does make the game feel a lot less unforgiving and scary too. Not much was going on after that until I finished my first hour of replaying. I went around checking the puzzles, which if I considered normal people replaying, they would immediately recognize. I should be thankful for my bad memory because then I can relive my experience solving the puzzle again while keeping the skills of navigating the world. Like I said, my main problem is my big ego thinking I would blaze through the game and get disappointed in my own expectations. My biggest surprise is probably the fact that it turns out your skin is made of paper and if the enemy sneezed wrong at you, it'll put you in a coma. And with the game on survival, keeping your health tip-top is detrimental. The game really doesn't give much more replayability than it already is, which I expected most people would immediately do in their first session with the game. You know, like trying to get every ending, that's what I did. So to keep things fresh on me, even though my brain is fresh out of the oven, I will be using the POV mod by Christopher Beast if I continue on. And if you'd like that, perhaps consider dropping like a sub mayhaps. I'll be seeing you later then.